Hi. You know, years ago, I read this book on writing and the creative process. And unfortunately, I can't quite remember the name of it or the author. So apologies to the author and to you because you probably would like this book. It's around here someplace. And, that's the issue. It's why I'm making this video. Because when your life is a cluttered mess, when it becomes a cluttered mess for whatever the reason, you can't think anymore and you can't create as well. In fact, that was a point he made in the book. He said, the gentleman wrote, I lived out of my van for a while and I had oil cans and old food and all kinds of garbage, and I had a little writing station nestled among my things. And I thought, wow, I'm just living the artist bohemian life. But he says, in fact, the muse has no room to walk in. There's nowhere for her to sit down if you treat it as a female, or if you treat it as a male, then there's nowhere for him to sit down, or a they, or however you perceive the muse to be. Point is, it's not want to come into mess. In my case, my mother moved and sold her house just about a year before the pandemic, and it sold about a year faster than anybody expected. They said it would take 6 months to a year. It sold in 6 weeks, and she'd been in that house for 60 years. And so there were a lot of things that I wanted to keep. My mom is great about. My mother's a minimalist, and I'm not. So we took things, put things in storage, and then the pandemic hit, and I stayed with her. So a lot of things just got stashed here. So lo and behold, this apartment became an episode of Hoarders. Now, a lot of things were put away, but the co-op has ordered some work to be done in everybody's unit. And if you don't know about co-ops, certain things have to happen. Things are like a boiler unit is up to code, or if there needs to be work done in the building. Since we're a cooperative, we all chip in and pay for it, and then it all has to get done around the same time. So in order to do this work, my apartment has started to rebel as I take things out of closets and whatnot to be taken away, and we end up with my own personal episode of Hoarders. This can affect your mind, by the way, and will affect your creative process, as I started to say at the beginning of the video, and as the gentleman pointed out in that book. When I find it, I'll of course share the title and the author with you. So I hope that your lives are better organized than this. The good news is a clutter company is coming on Friday to help me box things up, get rid of all the garbage, and take it away, or either to storage or to the dump. And that's going to be a huge help because this is too much for me. And I have found it very challenging to create and to practice in this environment. And yeah, I go visit my mom, but that's not, where my studio is. So it really is important that you have a sacred space for yourself to center, to be quiet, to create, so that when you go to work, you can stay in that mental space instead of a space of this. Okay, so I wish you all well. I hope you're all well and going to do well with the changing of the seasons in whatever direction you're going, either towards summer or towards winter, which is the case for me. It's October in New York City, and autumn in New York is pretty darn beautiful. Take care.